Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor Part 38 based on novel. So let's start. Hudu and Wu Jiang also returned to their residences. Only then did they know that the trials had begun. Damn it. The time calculation is wrong. The trials have already started. We have to go to the Infernal Corpse Forest as soon as possible. Where is the other half of the twin ghost emperor still sealed? Now that the cold lake has been destroyed, this ghost emperor is also a severely injured body. If we let the two become one, it is not something we can handle. It's not too late, let's go quickly. Hudu also said solemnly, and they also knew that it would be quite difficult to truly kill the twin ghost emperors, but the two of them worked together to injure him before. Yeah. Wu Jiang also agreed. The people in Honggu also seemed to have left. I don't know where they went. Wu Jiang also sensed that there were only a few people in Hongshan at this time. Valley Master, everything is ready, you can go. A black figure respectfully said to Hongye. Let's go, the rest of the old, the weak, the sick and the disabled will send some people to guard the Red Mountain. This time, only success is allowed, not failure. Hongye also said. After speaking, a large number of people appeared in the space teleportation formation leading to the Infernal Corpse Forest. It's almost here. This time our goal is the third floor of the Infernal Corpse Forest. The ghostly spring ghost and the ghost spirit led a large number of not weak ghosts to approach the Infernal Corpse Forest. Outside the Corpse Forest, even because of the formation, there are many people from Super Sects guarding it. The three of Xiao Yan also continued to walk towards the depths of the cave. Besides, the 7 black shadows that were rushing towards Xiao Yang before, suddenly a few of them were blasted out by Xiao Yang's huge flame attack, and slowly turned into blue smoke and disappeared into the air. The other black shadows were obviously very powerful, even under Xiao Yang's powerful flame attack, they were only shaken away. After a short collision, those dark shadows also seemed to find that Xiao Yang was not easy to mess with, and then turned around and ran into the depths of the cave. Xiao Yang looked at the 7 fleeing shadows, and felt that the aura in them seemed to be condensed by someone, and the aura in the depths of the cave was getting closer and closer. The 3 slowly came to the depths of the cave, and found that the depth of the cave was a rather wide space, and there was a wolf-shaped statue in the space that stood out. What is this? Mu Feng also stepped forward boldly, and stroked the wolf-shaped statue. Be careful. Xiao Yang also frowned, and then pulled up Yueru's jade hand. Since he promised Yu to take care of Yu, he naturally couldn't break his promise. The universe is yin and yang, the gossip is infinite, the ghost is lost, now. Mu Feng also muttered to himself, and then the blue light on his body flashed. As Mu Feng's voice fell, the wolf-shaped statue in front of him slowly shattered. The gravel that originally covered the wolf-shaped body of the statue fell down in circles, and then revealed its original appearance. It is a living wolf. It is strange to say that this wolf-shaped statue has turned into a lifelike wolf, but the strange thing is that Liushan Wuju's eyes have no color, as if it is a puppet. The 3 all looked at each other. Xiao Yang rolled his black eyes and looked at this place carefully, because he felt some other auras from here. The wolf in front of him seemed to be just a puppet. This should be deep in the cave, because Xiao Yang looked around and found that there was no road to continue, and then the flames above Xiao Yang's head suddenly rioted, instantly turning into a fire dragon, rolling out wildly, flying around in the cave. One after another heat wave, like fire, burns everything in the cave, and the surrounding wind bursts suddenly, countless screams, thrilling, very terrifying. Since the shadows that attacked Xiao Yang and the others before fled here, and there is no extra exit here, then it must still be here. So this is the scene of Xiao Yang at this time. Xiao Yang carried one hand on his back, looked around vigilantly and said softly, "I think you haven't shown up yet." After speaking, the fire dragon that was controlling the top of his head flashed and charged towards a dark black asterisk on the left. In an instant, the red light and the black chi that attacked Xiao Yang and the others were entangled, forming a rare spectacle. The fire dragon in midair, with its mouth wide open and its claws dancing wildly, fought hard against the flickering black cloud. The billowing heat wave collided with the gloomy and cold air, making a sizzling sound, which was unusually harsh. A cold light flashed in Xiao Yang's eyes. He suddenly retracted the fire dragon, the red light disappeared immediately, and the surroundings fell into darkness. In the pitch-black space, the black shadow found that the fire dragon had disappeared, and it was also moving very quickly, and then all this could not escape Xiao Yang's perception. Once spinning on top of Xiao Yang's head, that flashing red light illuminated everything in the cave. Xiao Yang and the three looked at the black air mass in front of him, which was shining with coquettish light. Mu Feng gave Xiao Yang a message. This kind of ghost is obviously what Mu Feng is good at dealing with, so Mu Feng said solemnly, "Not yet." "Show up, do you want to force me to do it?" Suddenly, in the black air mass, an old voice came, "Human boy, don't go too far. This is the corpse forest, not the place where you humans should come. If you don't leave, don't blame us for being sorry." In the gloomy voice, there is a dash of threat. Mu Feng looked at the group of black shadows coldly and sneered, "Although you are all in one, I can still force you to reveal your true self. At that time, I am afraid that everything will be too late. From the moment I entered this cave, I have many human skeletons were discovered, so you probably killed a lot of humans, right? So today you are destined to be wiped out. Ghosts and us humans have been enemies since ancient times. Instead of you killing a lot of humans, our move can be regarded as avenging the dead." The voice said gloomily, "Although you have a strange aura on your body, don't be arrogant and ignorant. In the past, countless people came here, full of madness, but they all died here and became our delicacy. You will definitely not be able to leave alive today. Although you have some strange auras on your body, it is impossible for you to survive." After the words were finished, 6 physical shadows suddenly appeared in the black gas. Xiong Mufeng attacked. Xiao Yang saw that they were all hungry wolves, with different shapes, but they looked very fierce. Xiao Yang used his enormous soul power to carefully examine the tops of the 6 wolves' heads, and there was a faint hint of evil gas on them. Obviously, they were not good. As soon as the 6 hungry wolves appeared, they stared at Mu Feng closely, as if it were delicious food. Then the hungry wolf's body was as fast as the wind, with sharp claws and wolf teeth, flashing a gloomy cold light, and pounced on Mu Feng from different directions. Looking at this situation, you can see that these wolf demons know how to combine strikes, and have a deep understanding of the use of tactics. A cold light flashed in Mu Feng's eyes, knowing that these wolves were not ordinary wild wolves, so he had to be careful not to be careless. Xiao Yang and Yueru moved slightly to make room for Mu Feng to fight. The two of them both moved away from Mu Feng by a few feet, and gently avoided these ferocious wolf monsters. Seeing this, Mu Feng showed a sinister smile in his eyes, turned his head gently, and quietly waited for the next round of attacks from these wolf monsters. Xiao Yang is also very calm at this time. A month is a long time, so there is no need to worry about the points. And for some unknown reason, Xiao Yang could feel a different kind of power from the black air mass. "And since I came here to improve my ability to deal with ghosts. After all, I just had never dealt with ghosts, so I carefully watched Mu Feng deal with these hungry wolves, and learned how to react and respond to the enemy by the way." Skill. Yueru is also the same as Xiao Yang. Although she has experience before, she has never encountered a ghost, so she moved her eyes slightly and looked at Mu Feng carefully. At this moment, Mu Feng put away the strange blue light on his body, and then the Na ring on his finger flashed lightly, and a Bing Qing sword appeared in his hand. The first round of Hungry Wolf's attack was cleverly avoided by Mu Feng's quick movement, and the second round of attack followed. Then facing the attack of the Hungry Wolves, Mu Feng just held a long sword, and then his body moved, as if a sheep entered the tiger's mouth, and slipped into the encirclement of the 6 wolves. Just when the 6 hungry wolves were surprised, Mu Feng moved. The long sword in Feng's hand with a slightly shining blue light instantly slashed out 6 swords, attacking 6 hungry wolves. The swordsmanship that Mu Feng used was actually gathering the fighting qi in his body onto the sword, and then slashing it at will, but he did not use it together with the special technique for practicing swordsmanship, otherwise its power would be astonishing, but with the long sword in his hand and such an offensive, killing these 6 wolf monsters was also within his grasp. The long sword in Mu Feng's hand trembled and danced, and the powerful fighting spirit gathered on the sword, instantly forming a sword beam outside him. Then countless sword lights appeared, slashing and slashing at the hungry wolf. Although they were avoided by the hungry wolf, there were too many. In an instant, the 6 hungry wolves were hit, causing them to let out a piercing scream, which instantly turned into a ray of black gas, and disappeared without a trace. The 6 hungry wolves faced Mu Feng's pavement with hideous faces. Unexpectedly, the power of the sword beams from Mu Feng's hands should not be underestimated. In an instant, 4 hungry wolves turned into black smoke and disappeared. Of the 2, one was seriously injured and was close to death, while the other hungry wolf stared at Mu Feng unscathed. This hungry wolf seems to be the leader of the other 5. Seeing this, the black air mass on the side also slowly exuded some breath, heading towards the wolf statue in the space that looked like a living body, but had no expression. The sword qi swept across the cave, and the sand and stone suddenly flew away in the cave, and the gravel turned into ashes. Fortunately, Xiao Yan and Yueru's eyesight were also extraordinary, so they were not affected too much. The figure of Mu Feng danced in the air, the long sword burst out with blue light, and the incomparably tyrannical sword light forced the remaining hungry wolf to have nowhere to hide. Seeing this, Mu Feng also sneered and said, "I haven't surrendered yet, look at the sword." When the words fell, I saw the blue light of the long sword in Mu Feng's hand soaring, and the layers of sword light formed a circular mask that enveloped the hungry wolf and quickly closed. The hungry wolf's body flashed left and right, trying to rush out of the layers of sword shrouds, but as soon as it touched the blue sword light, the hungry wolf's body immediately shrank. In the blink of an eye, the hungry wolf let out a pitiful scream, and his body was slowly swallowed by the blue sword light. Seeing the hungry wolf being subdued by himself, Mu Feng did not relax his vigilance either. The long sword in his right hand swung, and a powerful sword energy contained the mysterious aura of the yin and yang gossip technique. In conjunction with Mu Feng's magic formula, he instantly swept across, moving towards the dark air mass went away. I saw a black gas that instantly met Mu Feng's sword light. The power of the 2 different properties exploded in an instant, and there were bursts of harsh muffled sounds in the air. Mu Feng's blue sword light broke through the outermost part of the black gas in one fell swoop, and shot at the black shadow air mass extremely fast. Just as it was about to hit, suddenly a black jet flew out of the black air mass. The beam of light instantly met Mu Feng's sword glow. There was a sound of gold and iron intersecting in the air, and the black beam of light shook Mu Feng's sword light away, which made Mu Feng a little surprised. "Oh?" Mu Feng also said in surprise. Xiao Yang looked at the air carefully, the black gas swirling and dancing around the black air mass, and there was a trace of contemplation in his eyes. Without the outermost enclosure, the black thing revealed its original appearance. That thing is very similar to a wolf tooth, but it is very thick and long, about a few feet. Xiao Yang also could not have imagined that these ghosts actually knew the way of weapons. It seems that it is really not simple. There seems to be a lot of things hidden in this cave. Looking at the flying wolf teeth quietly, Xiao Yan's body instantly radiated dazzling brilliance, and a huge momentum instantly filled every part of the cave. A layer of red light slowly appeared on Xiao Yan's body, which was gradually intensifying. Leaving Yueru's side, he took a slight step towards the wolf tooth in the air. Xiao Yang's eyes were indifferent and he walked slowly. Xiao Yang, what are you doing? Mu Feng was also fighting vigorously, but Xiao Yang was also puzzled when he came out like this. In the cave, there was a tense atmosphere, and a confrontation between humans and ghosts was slowly being staged. In the cave, it suddenly became quiet, and then Xiao Yang also came to the front of the wolf tooth, reached out and touched it. The red light reflected on the black wolf tooth, looking very strange. Mu Feng felt that there was still a war going on. The war was imminent. In the cave, there was a sudden gloomy wind, countless gloomy howls and terrifying roars, as if the undead in were crying, which made people feel frightened. The weird scene at this moment, I don't know what it implies. In the eerie cave, Xiao Yang's body emitted a red light, wrapping him firmly in it to prevent anything from happening. Above his head, the red giant dragon has been entrenched on the top tilde, spinning and flying non-stop. The light was also extremely conspicuous, flashing with a strange mystery, and was following Xiao Yang's body, slowly approaching the black air mass. At this time, a sinister voice came out from the black air mass wolf teeth. I didn't expect to be discovered by you, this is really surprising to me. But that's okay, for so many years, we have been trapped here by you humans. If you don't go, since you are here today, don't expect to leave alive. Here is your hiding place. At that time, I will leave you with no bones left, and eat you slowly, ha ha. The gloomy laughter was particularly harsh. Mu Feng, looking at the monster, sneered, evil, don't talk big, you can show it if you have the ability. Look at you, you haven't even completed the human form, and your cultivation is still far behind. The voice said coldly, ignorant human beings, do you think that people who cultivate human form must be powerful? It's ridiculous. Let me tell you, cultivation in human form is very strong, but there are few alien spirits who do not pursue cultivation in human form. But they are just as powerful, and they don't show the slightest trace. That's where they are brilliant. Now you are ready to die, poor human. As soon as the words stopped, the surrounding wind roared, and the layers of black gas slowly he walked towards the wolf-shaped statue in the space that was shaken by Mu Feng at the beginning. The wolf also opened his eyes and stared at Xiao Yang. A terrifying aura emanated from the lifelike white wolf. The white wolf in the space was a statue at first, but after Mu Feng's means, the gravel shattered, and it was a lifelike white wolf without a breath. When the black air mass controlled the white wolf's body, a powerful aura also emanated. The white wolf was majestic at this time, with a layer of black aura surrounding his white hair. Why does this white wolf feel like it's alive? Mu Feng also found something wrong, because Mu Feng found that when Xiao Yang was talking to the black air mass in the air, the black air mass was vaguely moving towards the space. The white wolf is gone. The strength of this black air mass also did not pose a threat to the three of them, but out of caution, Mu Feng also looked at the white wolf vigilantly. Seeing that the white wolf in front of him seemed to be moving, Mu Feng immediately smiled and said, "Come on. I have subdued and eliminated demons for so many years. Today is the first time I have encountered a ghost like you. This time, I will let you use it, so that you can see how good I am. Let's see if I can force you out of your original shape." Mu Feng flexed his hands, and the blue-colored fighting chi instantly covered his whole body, and then spread out like a wave in an instant. Mu Feng also knew that the three of them were also a small team at this time, so they did not dare to let Xiao Yang fight alone, so he took the initiative to step forward. Seeing this, Xiao Yang just wanted to say something, but he looked at the white wolf in front of him. "What are you thinking about?" With Xiao Yang's powerful soul perception, it is naturally not difficult to find out that although this white wolf has intelligence, his pupils don't seem to be quite right. Mu Feng's attack soon came into contact with the black gas covering the white wolf's body, and the air was suddenly filled with a strange sound of squeak, very startling. On the huge wolf head on the white wolf covered in black qi, a pair of beast pupils slowly exudes a different color. The black gas and the blue light, madly eroding each other, started a battle in mid-air, and faced each other in an instant. At this time, the white wolf covered by the black air mass was suddenly full of spirituality. The wolf's mouth was wide open, several feet in size. It opened its mouth and cracked its teeth. It was very fierce. The two black fangs in the white wolf's mouth formed a sharp contrast with the fur on the outside of the white wolf. They danced staggeredly from left to right, sandwiched by black rays of light, with a ghostly energy soaring to the sky, very powerful. In mid-air, a thunderous wolf howled. The sound was as if it was about to tear the sky apart, and it opened its huge mouth fiercely, and rushed towards Mu Feng. That situation was like a black cloud pressing down, instantly appearing above Mu Feng's head, not giving him a chance to dodge. Then a strange scene appeared. At the moment when the black brilliance appeared, the huge beast pupils of the white wolf were also staring at Yu, Mu Feng and Xiao Yang. The previous attack of the white wolf seemed to be just for this bait. Mu Feng and Yu were also bewildered by this strange black brilliance, and fell into sluggishness. Actually, it's not to blame the two of them. After all, they are not as cautious as Xiao Yang, but Xiao Yang can always inspire the soul power to protect his soul realm, so there is no white wolf's way. Illusion. A surprised voice sounded inside Xiao Yang's body. It was the voice of his master, the Golden Dragon King. Illusion. Xiao Yang also muttered to himself. The moment he was stared at by the white wolf beast's pupils, he just felt a faint in his mind, and then it disappeared in a flash. Well, I didn't expect this ghost to know illusion. The so-called illusion is a method of attacking people's spiritual power or soul power, through their own powerful soul power or spiritual power, and some seemingly inadvertent, but hidden movements, sounds, movements, drugs or objects to make the other party fall into the spirit. In a trance state, all kinds of hallucinations occur. The Golden Dragon King also said, "Is there any harm in this? It stands to reason that the power of this ghost is low, so it will not cause any harm, and the level of this illusion is too low. As long as you defeat this ghost, the illusion will naturally be self-defeating." The Golden Dragon King and Xiao Yang also talked. The two they saw were blocked and fell into a coma. Xiao Yang's eyes were instantly extremely cold, and a violent terrifying flame burst out suddenly. Since the two of them were unconscious, then they can show their skills against this white wolf by themselves. The fiery red giant dragon, that had been entrenched above his head shook slightly, and suddenly attacked the white wolf at 10 times the speed in an instant. It shouldn't be, how could you? The originally sluggish white wolf also acquired intelligence after the black air mass settled in, and then looked at Xiao Yang and said in surprise, "How come this human boy doesn't have his own way?" At that moment, the entire cave trembled slightly, and countless dusts fell from all around. The hard stone walls in the cave were all shattered by the shock of the fiery red giant dragon, which instantly turned into dust and slowly fell. The white wolf covered with black gas moved its huge body, and the next moment, the huge wolf head was about to be pressed on top of Xiao Yang's head. Trying to eat Xiao Yang in one bite. I saw Xiao Yang's fiery red giant dragon suddenly speeding up and spinning, and the milky white light formed a beam of light that shot directly at the huge black wolf head. At the same time, in the huge wolf head, two black light and shadows instantly emitted two powerful black brilliance, which confronted the red beam of light. The black brilliance was very powerful, and in the blink of an eye, the fiery red dragon above Xiao Yang's head was pressed down. Xiao Yang's face was slightly cold at this time, and he gently stroked the ring on his finger, and then the ancient ruler of eternal fire also appeared in Xiao Yang's hand. Afterwards, Xiao Yang's vindictiveness was also aroused to the extreme, and a monstrous atmosphere erupted. Suddenly, the fiery red dragon above his head reappeared, and the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand was also exuding incomparably hot temperature, resisting the black brilliance. Xiao Yang held the ancient ruler of eternal fire in both hands, then looked at the white wolf in front of him, and said solemnly, "The flame divides the wave." I saw Xiao Yang interlaced his hands slightly tilde the fiery red aura around his body suddenly spun violently. In just a blink of an eye, the light from the ancient ruler of the eternal fire, like two blue dragons, kept spinning and interlacing, wrapping the huge black wolf head and spinning rapidly. The blue dragon turned faster and faster, with the wolf's head roaring in horror, spinning in mid-air. At the same time, the fiery red giant dragon above Xiao Yang's had also flashed an incomparably bright red glow, frantically burning the black air mass, slowly destroying its layers of protection, and eroding its body. The black giant wolf head slowly dimmed and became smaller under the rotation of the ancient ruler, and orn of the different fire constant, turning into a blue dragon, gradually revealing its original appearance. The frightened and angry voice in the white wolf's body was particularly harsh at this moment. The two fangs of the white wolf had already run out of energy at this time, and they were attacked by Xiao Yang's radiant ancient ruler, and they returned to its body in a flash. Xiao Yang also quietly looked at the white wolf in front of him. The black chi from the white wolf also escaped. Obviously it couldn't stand Xiao Yang's strange fire. Slowly, the black chi that controlled the white wolf also revealed its true colors. At the same time, in the third floor of the infernal corpse forest, Mula smiled and stared into the distance, muttering bitterly in his mouth, "What about Xiao Yang? What about the new king? As long as you dare to come to this infernal corpse forest. The third floor, we will count together the new hatred and the old hatred." Next to Mula, there are the ghosts of the secluded spring and the ghostly ghosts. Xiao Yang also took a closer look. The true face of the black air mass in front of him was actually a wolf. But the difference is that this wolf has a pair of very sharp, thick and long fangs, which are very conspicuous. The pair of fangs turned out to be red and black, very strange, as if they were inlaid, not like they were born. At this time, the wolf shadow's eyes were full of horror, and when he saw it, he suddenly raised his head and roared angrily, and his body instantly turned into a cloud of black smoke. Immediately afterwards, the black smoke disappeared instantly, and a figure suddenly flashed out, with both hands in the shape of claws, rushing towards Xiao Yang. It was a man who seemed to be the same age as Xiao Yang, with a long and narrow face and a ferocious look on his face. Xiao Yang immediately turned around and took the werewolf's attack at will. He saw a very powerful black light above the head of the werewolf who attacked him. Unfortunately, Xiao Yang's perception contained a very obvious evil aura in that black light. Xiao Yang said with a sneer, "I didn't expect you to cultivate into a human form. You have been hiding your true strength before. It's really insidious." Xiao Yang finished speaking, the ancient ruler of the eternal fire flashed in his hand, and shot the wolf shadow. The werewolf kept his human appearance and roared, "Human, I underestimated you before, but I never imagined that the flames on your body would be so powerful. However, since you now know my true face, then come on, I will fight with you." The wolf's ferocious nature is unmistakable. I saw a brilliance flashing in the werewolf's hand, and 2-foot-long wolf-tooth-shaped weapons, one red and one black, suddenly appeared in his hand. The werewolf was extremely fast, and when it moved, countless figures instantly transformed into the surrounding Xiao Yang. Because of the speed of the red and black light and shadow, it was already forming a continuous halo, trapping Xiao Yang inside. Xiao Yang's face was calm, his feet swayed slightly, His hand was like a crimson flame, and he waved it 9 times in a row. Every time it is swung, the radiance of the ancient ruler of the different fire will become stronger. After the 9 swings were completed, an incomparably powerful force, sandwiched between the shattering ruler, slashed furiously, and swept toward the werewolf in an instant, as if it were about to open a mountain and crack a mountain. With a loud bang, the entire cave shook. Xiao Yan's power is full of this foot, and the power of Fenju is also the volatile Lingli to the fullest. With 1 foot shattered the werewolf's offensive, Xiao Yan relied on his powerful soul perception power to easily know the werewolf's moving trajectory, and then without waiting for the werewolf to appear, he appeared in front of it in an instant. Xiao Yan had a sneer in his eyes, and his right hand slashed down like lightning a foot in the air. This foot held Xiao Yan's milky white flame power, and the werewolf's head appeared instantly, leaving no chance for it to escape. The werewolf is actually condensed from pure ghost energy, and since this is the wolf's lair, it is transformed into a wolf shape. Moreover, this werewolf is condensed with extremely strong ghost chi after all, and the ghost chi is gloomy and strange, and Xiao Yan's strange fire is the most young and strong, and it is extremely violent. So it is also the nemesis of the werewolf. The werewolf was alerted to the approaching danger, his body suddenly fell down, and then quickly rotated in front of Xiao Yan. With the rapid rotation of the werewolf, a black beam of light burst out instantly, meeting Xiao Yan's powerful slash. The 2 powerful air currents collided in an instant, and immediately released a huge explosion that destroyed the sky and the earth. The surrounding stone walls were suddenly shaken to pieces, and the entire cave was crumbling. Fortunately, Xiao Yan controlled the strength, so the cave did not collapse. Xiao Yan's body was covered with milky white flames, and all the rubble that flew into it was burned into nothingness. As for Xiao Yan's soul power, he has been keeping an eye on the werewolf's movements, and did not give it a chance to escape. But Xiao Yan also found that the strength of this werewolf is at most equivalent to the peak of the 3-star fighting emperor of humans, but he has been unable to kill it. It seems that as long as his attack is too strong, the werewolf will exude a gloomy ghost. It was that ghostly aura that offset his own attack. However, in this attack, Xiao Yan also used his soul power to deal with the werewolf. So at the moment of the explosion, Xiao Yan clearly felt that the aura of the werewolf was much weaker, and it seemed that it was severely damaged. But this werewolf is also very tyrannical. Even a foot like this will not kill it, so Xiao Yan can't help but grin. This werewolf is really not easy. The black light around the werewolf instantly dimmed. His body was also injured to varying degrees, and he had lost his strength to fight again. The werewolf obviously didn't think about it. How could this human kid be so careless? And the ghost energy in his body was actually seen through. This ghost chi was mutated by absorbing the blood of the strong Swantianshan, so it can often offset some powerful attacks, but the werewolf's intelligence is obviously not as high as that of humans, obviously underestimating Xiao Yan's strength. At this moment, the werewolf said a few words in his mouth, and then the space without a road in front of him opened a small door out of thin air. The werewolf turned into a trace of black gas, flew into the small door at full speed, and fled to the depths of the cave. Disappeared without a trace. It is very clear that it can't beat this human, so it is better to go first. Seeing this, Xiao Yan was also suddenly enlightened. No wonder he felt a little strange when he was investigating. It turned out that he was blinded by the blindfold method. Then Xiao Yan placed a barrier on the bodies of Yueru and Mufeng, and chased the fleeing werewolf. Gone. Xiao Yan's body turned around in an instant, only to see a milky white light flashing, and in a blink of an eye, there was no figure, just like a shooting star. In the cave, Xiao Yan was also chasing the werewolf quickly. The werewolf had the aura left by Xiao Yan, so the werewolf could not escape. The werewolf in front had already spotted Xiao Yan in the back at this time, and its aura suddenly disappeared. Xiao Yan's expression changed slightly, and he said to himself, "How cunning a werewolf actually knows how to hide his aura, it's really not easy. It's a pity that I have already planted a soul imprint on you, so all this is in vain." After Xiao Yan finished speaking, the huge soul force in the soul realm in his mind instantly poured out tilde towards all directions in the cave, and soon noticed the aura of the werewolf, and then Xiao Yan also speed up and go straight ahead. On the way of tracing, Xiao Yan realized that the cave was not deep enough, and there were so many forks around him that he couldn't tell which way he entered. It's like an underground labyrinth, with countless tunnels crisscrossing, and it's hard to find out. Because of the intricate underground passages, flying randomly is also very dangerous, so it is very difficult for Xiao Yan to chase the werewolf. This point, Xiao Yan also deeply understood at this time, but he was not willing to give up easily, because Xiao Yan seemed to feel that there was something attractive in the depths of this cave. After chasing for a long time, Xiao Yan didn't even pay attention to how far he had chased. Xiao Yan stopped. The soul imprint on the werewolf seemed to give back to Xiao Yan, and the werewolf stopped somewhere. Xiao Yan's figure moved and quickly chased after him. After a while, Xiao Yan appeared in front of the werewolf. Looking at the dying werewolf on the ground, Xiao Yan said lightly, "I said long ago that you can't escape." After speaking, he also looked around, and a very magnificent coffin appeared in front of Xiao Yan. What a powerful breath! What's in here? Xiao Yan looked around this place and found that this place should be deep in the cave. In the middle of the wide cave, there are steps in all directions. Then, on the steps, a coffin slowly lay flat. At this time, Xiao Yan was at the very edge of the secret room. Just as Xiao Yan was about to move forward to investigate the truth of the coffin, he suddenly noticed that the werewolf on the other side was moving. The werewolf had now returned to its original wolf shape, lying flat on the ground, looking at Xiao Yan fiercely with dark green eyes. The werewolf said in a low voice, "How can your soul power be so powerful? You are only about the power of a 3-star human battle emperor. It is impossible to have such a powerful power. This is impossible." Xiao Yang smiled coldly and said, "You don't need to know about this anymore. Everything between you and me is over, and it ends with your death. If you can cultivate into a human form, it means that your strength is quite good. Perhaps you tell me what the coffin in front of me is, and I will consider letting you go." HMPH. Dreaming. Humans are people who don't believe what they say. The werewolf also said in exasperation. Obviously, the imprint of Xiao Yan's soul in the werewolf caused a lot of damage to the werewolf. After all, this werewolf's body was also destroyed by Xiao Yan. Destroyed, and the soul power is also quite powerful to deal with this soul body. Xiao Yang stood still, seeing that the werewolf was not cooperating at all, and the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his hand was also slowly wrapped by a different fire, and a dazzling crimson light emitted from the ruler, as if it was about to devour everything. The werewolf on the ground shook his head weakly, his eyes were full of despair, and the wolf's mouth let out a desolate wolf howl. The strange fire on the strange fire eternal ancient ruler automatically rotated, and then slowly descended. A scorching flame of light instantly covered the werewolf, slowly refining and swallowing it. A faint smile appeared in Xiao Yang's eyes, and the milky white light around his body instantly emitted a dazzling light, illuminating the surrounding scene within a 10-meter radius. Even on the dark stone walls, there was a faint milky white flame light. At the same time that the milky white flame on Xiao Yang's body was shining brightly, the milky white flame energy surrounding the werewolf's head also increased. The werewolf in the beam of light struggled non-stop. The weak soul would turn into a human shape and then return to a wolf shape again. The shrill wolf cries in his mouth kept going. Slowly, the werewolf's body became smaller and smaller, and it seemed that it was about to be refined and become a part of nothingness. Damn human, even if I die, I will drag you to hell." The werewolf also said hideously. At this moment, a red and a dark light burst out from the werewolf's bewitching eyes, which was very strange. Immediately, the werewolf's body suddenly faded, and the entire body instantly broke through Xiao Yan's flame energy group, and disappeared out of thin air. The next moment, two rays of light, one red and one black, appeared in the air, and a dazzling brilliance burst out instantly, breaking through Xiao Yan's flame energy group in one fell swoop, breaking through the air and escaping. Xiao Yan's face changed slightly, and he said to himself, unexpectedly, "The two red and black fangs are not just weapons. There are two different soul powers hidden in them. He is the Trinity, so it is. Okay, today I'll see how far you can escape." After speaking, Xiao Yan held the ancient ruler of eternal fire in his left hand, and with a slight gesture of his right hand, the black light in mid-air instantly blocked everything. When he retreated, he took a trace of the black ghost in the air into the palm of his hand. Looking at the faint black gas in the palm of his hand, Xiao Yan smiled and said, "Werewolf, I can see that you are very smart, but it's a pity that I met me. I won't be deceived so easily by you. Now it's over." After speaking, a milky white light appeared in the palm of the hand, and instantly enveloped the black gas, and then the soul of the black werewolf was also blurring at a speed visible to the naked eye. It's just that Xiao Yang didn't notice that the two fangs, one black and one white, were flying towards the coffin. The werewolf's last trembling voice came, "Even if you die, you can't escape from here. So just die with this skyless coffin." Ha ha ha. Before the werewolf could finish speaking, he was swallowed by Xiao Yang's milky white flame. Then, a small amount of power flowed into Xiao Yang's body along the palm of his hand. This ghost energy can actually enhance my spiritual power through the refining and devouring of my own strange fire. When the tiny power flowed into Xiao Yang's body, Xiao Yang felt the mud with the magic movement, natal inscription. At the palace pill, the volume actually swelled a bit. Although the volume of this expansion is small, it has not escaped Xiao Yang's perception. Xiao Yang is also very happy about this. After all, although Nigong Wan has been opened up, the mental power is too small, which makes Xiao Yang's tyranny of the battle formation master impossible. After showing it off, it is different now. Knowing the benefits of this ghostly energy, Xiao Yang also laughed. This ghost is really a good thing. Xiao Yang also licked his tongue. According to Xiao Yang's estimation, his current mental strength is also increasing, and he has the power to fight against the 3-star Do Di. He, you kid can be considered a blessing in disguise. The figure of the Golden Dragon King also appeared in this space. Master, he. Xiao Yang also smiled and looked at his master, the Golden Dragon King. Originally, I was worried about whether this strong ghost chi would affect you. After all, this ghost chi can corrode people's minds. Now it seems that my worries are unnecessary. You have different fire protection, and the strange fire is very strange. It can actually refine and devour the ghost energy to enhance my spiritual power. This is something I have never heard of. The Golden Dragon King also spoke slowly. Hearing this, Xiao Yang also shook his head helplessly. After all, there is no way to cultivate spiritual power, and now he can only rely on these sidelines. But don't be too happy too soon. The space here is completely closed, and it seems that you won't be able to get out in a short time. The Golden Dragon King also glanced around and said. Hearing this, Xiao Yang was also a huge soul force that instantly emerged in all directions. There is only one result of Xiao Yang's investigation. Then he can only enter the secret room where he is now, but there is only one way to enter. It was the small door that Xiao Yang entered just now, but since Xiao Yang entered the secret room, this small door has also been closed. With Xiao Yang's current strength, it is still impossible to break through this small door. The investigation was fruitless, and Xiao Yan also walked towards the secret room step by step. There are many human bones and spider webs in the entire secret room, but surprisingly there is not even a single plant. The secret room is very wide, but the most conspicuous is the coffin on the central steps of the secret room. Not good. When Xiao Yang saw the coffin on the steps, he suddenly noticed that the two fangs in the hands of the werewolf that had been devoured by his refining were moving towards the coffin. Those two fangs are not a werewolf, and there are also two souls in the fangs, so according to Xiao Yang's guess, those two fangs are very likely the key to opening this coffin. And that werewolf is also the guardian of this coffin. This video will end here.